Hello, good morning. And this is a special edition for International Women's Day 2023. And I'm joined today with a very special crew from the world of finance. I've got some special guests with me who will all introduce themselves in just a moment. But I'm really excited to record this extra special episode that is outside of our regular sequence because of what a fantastic day it is today to obviously raise awareness around women in finance, women in property, construction, women in general, women that we love, women that raised us, women that, we admire and are inspired by. So I want to bring this show to you today so that you can see the women I'm surrounded by and the women that I'm truly empowered by and really appreciate and admire them in their field. And I want you to get a taste of that today. We are going to be talking about some meaty subjects today, right? They are quite heavy subjects. And they're all here. These subjects are here to give you information, to empower you, to give you direction and information about where to go for help and that there is help out there. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to these beautiful money honeys. Who are you, ladies?
Good morning. I'm Alison Caulfield. I'm National Relationship Director from Master Private Finance, and I'm absolutely delighted to be part of this show today. As always, for those who know me, yes, I have got an opinion. However, it's all about collaboration for me and women working shoulder to shoulder with the men. I don't want to emasculate men. I don't like that. However, they need to understand some of the issues that women face. And I think it's gathering that momentum now where women feel more secure and more empowered to speak up. So hopefully they can embrace what we say.
Yes, Alison, that's what I'm talking about. And that's a very important point. Being pro-women does not make you anti-men. Like, that's not the battle here. That's not the conversation. But so thank you for raising that point. I think that's really important. We're here, we love men, but we love ourselves more. So we need to talk about ourselves. So next, we've got Kim. Why don't you go?
Yes, thank you. So my name's Kim McGinley. I'm the Managing Director of Vibe Specialist Finance, also a non-exec board director for the NACFB. But yes, I'm very much proud to be here today. Thank you for having me. Looking forward to the conversation.
Thank you, Kim. Now, I'm very excited that you could be here. And you're all very, very busy people. So I appreciate you doing this and I'll get you back to your day jobs immediately. But thank you for contributing to the conversation. And last but not least,
hey, this is Dr. Sheun. Okay, it's a delight to be here. I'm the author of the upcoming book, The Book on Insurance, How to Protect Yourself, Your Family, and Businesses Against Financial Misfortunes. And I'm delighted to be with the ladies today. Embrace equity. This is the year.
Awesome. Yes. Key word there, equity. We're going to be talking about equality and equity. So let's just jump straight in. Who wants to take the first topic and what do you want to put on the table today for discussion?
All right, today, let me just kick it in by one of the quotes that I got here. It's from my very first book, the book on Supergirl to Superwoman, the ultimate guide to female leadership. And I think this is very, very relevant. It's in chapter 3. It says the world's biggest challenge can be solved by you. Why? So we've got 50% of us in the world, men, women. And like my gentle lady was saying earlier on, we're not here to emasculate men. However, the opportunities around for women to become is lesser than what we have in men. And we need to be able to embrace that. And that's what it's all about this year. So the brick walls are there for a reason. The brick walls are not there to keep us out. The brick walls are there to give us a chance to show how badly we want something. Because the brick walls are there to stop the people who don't want it badly enough. They are there to stop the other people. Randy Push has that quote. We have so many opportunities around us, but you know what? To embrace equity, I think we need to push more than we're doing right now. That's to start our conversation today.
That's a really good point, Dr. Sheun, because I think this concept of us having to push and having to fight for our right, how do we feel about that, ladies? Because I feel like, do we have the same brick wall as the men, or why do we have to fight through this wall? What's everyone else's opinion on this, metaphorical wall that we have to fight through? Is it there? Is there a wall there? Or is it in, what does that look like?
In my opinion, the wall is completely different, because I think theirs are maybe made of glass and they can get through it quite easily. And sometimes I always feel like it's made of concrete. And just to talk about opportunity again, I saw a stat, and this was only yesterday, that over half of all men get the opportunity to shadow someone in a senior role within the business. And this doesn't include females at all. So yeah, the opportunities, they're not the same. However, we need to work with the men and the businesses and the senior people to make sure that those opportunities are the same. You talked about equity and equality. Yes, there is a difference. Equity in simplicity is about fairness. Equality is about opportunities, equal opportunity. So when we talk about embracing equity, it's fairness for everyone within this industry, any industry. Let's just be fair and include everyone.
That's right, exactly that. I think the brick wall can be there, or the wall, the concrete wall, the glass wall. It's there for male, female, transgender, non-binary. It's there for everyone, and it should be on merit. So something really interesting I heard last night. I went to an International Women's Day conference yesterday evening at the British Library. By the way, if you have no idea, like I had no idea about how much further the British Library goes beyond books in this library and artifacts. It's actually there. They've got so many supportive environments and networks and groups and resources to help you start a business and to help you in your business and scale. So definitely a place to check out. But last night I went to a conference called Disruptors, Innovators and Entrepreneurs, right? And it was about these women that broke massive barriers in their culture, in the field, in the vertical, in the industry that they went in, whether it was fashion or tech, and how they overcame those barriers. And one of the entrepreneurs there, who deals with a lot of venture capitalists, said that less than 2%, right, less than 2% of UK VC-backed businesses are women. So less than 2% of VC funding goes to women businesses, right? Why not submit a business plan and a business idea anonymously? It should be assessed on merit. Should be, right, this is the business plan, this is the business model. I don't care how you address yourself, because it's like 2023, right? Can I just say, it's 2023. We're still talking about the difference between men and women. And it's like, there's non-binary, like we're at the level of like not even being binary now. So why are we still why are we still giving attention to this? Like, we shouldn't have to be giving attention to the difference between men and women when we've gone to the point of being non-binary. And also merit. That's my contribution to this, that it should be on merit. What do you think, Kim?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the concept of it, of what you're saying, is very simplistic, right? So not having to submit whether you're a man, woman, non-binary, whatever that might be. So I think putting these things into practice, I mean, the whole non-binary concept, which is very fair, is only kind of more recent. And I think this, if you look at how far we've come with men and women, and we're still having these conversations now, we've still got such a long way to go. So I completely agree with you that shouldn't even come into play when it comes to business and financing and funding for the business. And just going back to the brick wall concept, or the concrete wall, or whatever that might be, don't want to say anything too controversial, but sometimes it's not only those walls that are put up by others, it's almost those walls that we put up ourselves as well. And it's understanding when those situations come about. Is it that wall there because I'm holding myself back? I'm not pushing myself for these opportunities? Because as we know, there's so many statistics out there that say when these opportunities do come up, 9 times out of 10, women don't put themselves forward for these, senior level roles, because we're telling ourselves, can we do it? We're doubting whether we can do it. Men have a different concept. They just literally go in, dive in the deep end, I'm going to do it. And there's no other real thought to it. So I just find it interesting. Definitely the walls are there, exactly like Alison said, glass, brick, concrete. But I do find it interesting is it me putting up that wall, or is it someone else? So, yeah.
Very brave point to mention there, Kim, because, and I can see Dr. Sheun nodding, so I'm going to pass over to you. What do you have to say in response to
You know
this?
what? See, it was just so real. Remember, it was 2019, yeah, and I applied to go on the parliamentary list for the Conservative Party, and I didn't want to do it, but my husband said, "Sure, nothing to lose. What does it take? Put yourself forward." So we're given this evening to bringing everybody together, both men and women. We had about 30% women in the room. And the lady said, one of the speakers said this thing. Says, you know what, after all this information, what we have found out is 6 months later, women have not applied. They've not even filled the form. And the men do it immediately. You know what, ladies, I did my form exactly that night, right? And on that same year, I got on the parliamentary list and actually invited to become a member of parliament for Poplar and Limehouse in 2019 general election, because I took immediate action, right? It only took roughly 3 months to get on that list. It was, but if I had not taken action because I had listened and heard that, but it's real. Most of the time, women don't take immediate action because we're still looking to take permission, or we don't believe enough, or that imposter syndrome. But we have what it takes. Leadership needs all of us. But like Kim said, how many of us actually put ourselves forward because we're still thinking? So yes, and that's why I was nodding that. Wow, it's so real.
It's action. Well done. It's absolutely the action. The opportunity meets. They say opportunity meets preparation. The extra bit to that formula that's missing is the action. It's actually putting yourself forward. And what you did right there is take responsibility. You said, I have to be in that room. I have to represent, because if I don't, then who will? And we often hear this in financial services, where we hear that there's not enough women on the screen, there's not enough women on the panel, there's not enough women in leadership. Who's standing up? Are you standing up? Kim, please.
Sorry, just to go back to Alison's point as well, which I found fascinating about the shadowing and that opportunity that they've got. So I think if we had more of that, us ladies, to show us, and lead the way, then absolutely we should have those opportunities. So that actually floored me, that concept, because I had no idea about that. So thank you for bringing that up today.
Can you add to that, please, Alison? Yes.
Yeah, it was based off the back of a TED talk, and what they was generally speaking about was male opportunity in comparison to female opportunity. And that was one of the things that absolutely stuck with me, because I've been in the industry quite some time now and I've seen that happen. I've experienced it where people said, oh, well, I fancy doing this, and how do I go about putting myself forward for this role? And when it was the guys, it was, oh, great, yeah, this is what we can do for you. However, we spoke about women, and you Kim, and Dr. Sheun, both of us said, do we put ourselves forward enough? No, they don't, because there's a fear there that you're going to be rejected. Okay. I said it before, I was at the British Specialist Lending Senate last week. I loved it. And I just thought, right, there's opportunity here. And I took the bull by the horns, and everyone that I wanted to meet afterwards, I asked the question, can we get something in the diary? Is it okay if I give you a call and we meet up? And you know what? Every one of them people said yes. Everyone said yes. And I am confident. However, you do still have these niggling doubts of, oh, they're going to think I'm being rude. Are they going to think that I'm being aggressive or too pushy? Well, do you know what? No, because this is male language. Can you help? Can we get together? And when I use that same language, I got positive responses from everyone. So I think there's a massive lesson here. And there's a massive lesson from women going, yeah, you're not going to get accepted, or you're not going to get where you want every single time. But it's like Michael Jordan said, you miss every single shot that you don't take.
Dr. Sheun, everyone's mouthing, everyone's on mute, and they're like, yeah, like, I can see people in the background, Alison, cheering you on, but you can't hear them. But yeah, I love that. It is absolutely about the shots you take. And I do want to actually highlight this male energy, female energy, male language, female language. Like, what on earth does that mean? And it is true, though. It is real. Like, it's not a stereotype or a made up concept. It is real. So I think the future of us as humans, I want to embrace men and women for all that they stand for the power that they have. I don't want to lose this. This is me personally, ladies, okay? In the future, I don't like future. I don't want us to all just be addressed as this human or this person. I want to be recognized as a woman. I like my woman power. I want to be acknowledged as a woman, because there are powers that women have. Our bodies are so, even just our physical bodies, and I think we should move the conversation over to that now, to the we're going to be talking about the menopause, but what our bodies can do, as you know, genetically as females, is very different to what men can do, both in the positive and in a, you know, we can be held back sometimes, can't we, by our physical responses, and that is what women have to deal with. So please, let's not, for me, like, for the future of, you know, my children, the children I'm going to have, and my grandkids, I want like them to be identified for who they want to be identified as, and own that power. So ladies, I am not an expert in this subject whatsoever. I don't know who is, I don't know who's been through it. It doesn't have to be a personal comment, but I have no idea what the menopause is like, okay, other than I can know. we got a hand up. Please, if you are brave, please share. What on earth is this? What do we do? How does it come up at work?
Okay. Yesterday, I reached out to a lot of ladies because we've been speaking to a lot of women who are perimenopausal, who are going through the menopause, and there's a resounding factor that comes out of every conversation, and it is, there is no dignity to this if you're having a bad time with it, and there needs to be some dignity. It's got to be sympathized with from businesses. People have got to feel comfortable talking about it, and I know we're a long way from that because it's very, very personal. And I reached out to a group of ladies who are kind of a group who I work with, who we mentor each other. I like a sounding board, really. And I just thought, you know what? Someone's got to take a stand on this. Someone has got to start talking seriously about the menopause. And I had an idea that I'm going to do a video, and it's going to be called The Secrets I've Been Keeping. And I'm going to speak about the menopause journey from my perspective and what I had to put up with. I'm not a shy, retiring person, as you know. I have got a lot of confidence, but this came at me from left side, and I thought I was going crazy. I really did. I lost the sharpness. I had complete brain fog, along with many other physical symptoms. And I just kept getting knocked back from the medical professionals until I started going online. I started following a menopause specialist, and that helped me to get to where I am today. But some of these women, and a lot of them are finding it's really debilitating, and we just need people to understand that it's going to happen to, if you've got females in your workforce, it's going to happen to those females. Okay, it's not imagination. They're not depressed. They've not got anxiety. It is a lack of a hormone, a very, very strong available hormone in the body that's potentially affecting them physically and mentally. So watch this space for that.
Yeah, please take it away. Were you going to speak, Dr. Sheun?
Okay, yeah, that's so. I'm not there yet. And in fact, because I've been following the chat about that, I'm already over 45. However, it's one thing I'm looking into too. So obviously, the things I've been hearing about the hot flushes, about, you know, having brain fog and whatever, I'm already praying not have to experience that. But you know what? I think, like Bev said, we need to be having these conversations. And who's going to enable that conversation except the people that have actually gone through it, because they can speak authoritatively about it, to understand, and then start preparing organizations that this is going to happen. How do we support? We're talking about embracing equity. What are the situations? What are the support that we need to put in place for women to actually be in the full element when they are working with us? And we also talk about lack of mentorship within women. For me, I believe that women should enable women, but in most cases, I found that women are my most challenges when I get to an organization. I can bamboozle my way through men, honestly. Because as a woman, like anybody was saying, that if I want something, I can ask for it. If I don't ask, it's 100% is a shot that you've not taken. But if you ask, it's a 50-50% chance, right? But if we're not pushing through that, then, but if we can go to men and have support, then what's happening to us women? because when women are around one another at times, it's like we feel intimidated by one another, and we shouldn't be doing that. So one of the things that we need to do as we're going through all the structures that organizations need to put together, we need to speak to us women folks to support one another so that we don't feel challenged when we come out. I'd rather have a male boss in most cases than a female one.
That's
But
interesting.
how can we use honestly, how can we use our female power to enable not just the organization but to pull one another up without feeling intimidated that yes, another female power is in the room.
Yeah, absolutely. I do slightly get that feeling of competition. I do see that sometimes. I'm going to hand over to Alison.
Okay. Based on the back of that and women supporting each other, this is something I'm quite passionate about, because there's been like a new phenomenon, and it's called, believe it or not, the queen bee syndrome, where you're getting women who are seen as successful. They've reached the dizzy heights of their careers and in the businesses and things like that, and they're not helpful or open to supporting and mentoring other women. And I just feel that is not equity. That is not fairness. Okay. And also, what I don't like, and I've called this out on numerous occasions, is sometimes females can be quite clannish and be quite derogatory to other females. I will not have that. There is no place for that in our industry or in any other industry. Okay, some days it's really, really hard being a female in the industry. So you don't want women that you potentially look up to or aspire to be kicking you when you're down. We need to eradicate that. And that's another thing. Call that out whenever we see it, because it's just something that really, it grinds my gears. It really, really grinds my gears. And it should not happen.
I'm with you. And I can't be too specific, obviously, but I've got to be careful what I say, because obviously everyone knows where I've been in the industry, but all I can say is that my biggest champions, most of the time, I'm saying now it's, I'm starting to grow within, I've got more women surround, like the good women, I'm like, yeah, pulling them in, because there have been, in my experience, especially when I was a business development manager, everyone, the people that were making horrible comments or kicking each other under the table or nudging each other or rolling their eyes were women. And I was absolutely distraught by that. Like, I didn't show it and I didn't act like it was holding me back. It just fueled me to fight harder. But my biggest champions have always been men. They've always supported me. I don't feel like I've ever had barriers really from like my male colleagues. They've always been happy for me to just be like we've all just been working together. Like, I felt really supported by them, but the women hadn't, right? So that's why when I started my own business, I have to say 99% of my clients are actually men. So I work with a lot of men. And on that point is when I do have women approach me, so they'll get the same. So this is just in my experience of the business. So when I give the same proposal to a woman and the same proposal to a man, the man jumps in. He's like, yep, here's the money. Boom. Backs himself, invests in himself, invests in that opportunity. The women ghost me. They go silent. They go quiet. They don't take that risk. There's that fear. I don't know if it's in with themselves, that Kim was saying, like they're holding up a mental barrier, saying, oh gosh, what if because obviously, as you know, if you don't know what I do, if you're listening, obviously I help financial advisors and mortgage brokers get on social media, raise their brand and become more visible and have a voice. That is scary. That is really scary once you get to the point where you actually get to achieve that. So if I'm there promising you that kind of goal and dream and you finally get the answer like, oh gosh, Ross could really help me have a voice, that's where, in my experience, the man has been like, yeah, here's the money, do it, let me do it. And the woman's like, yeah, the thing is, and there's like an excuse, right? But I want to hand this over to Kim, because Kim, do you carry a pressure? Because you are very popular and you are very well known. You are very active on social media. You're very visible and you have broken barriers, not only in the digital space, but in financial services. So do you carry that pressure at all? Do you feel that pressure? And to Alison's sentiment about this and Dr. Sheun's sentiment to like women supporting women, how do you feel about that in the space that you're in?
Oh, thank you. So going back to the conversation about women supporting women, I'm very fortunate to have worked with some fantastic women in my career that have enabled me and elevated me to be able to do what I do now. So, but equally, I'll be completely honest, I've worked in environments, the bitchy environments, the little snide remarks in the background. I know what that's like too. But all I can thank is for every experience that I've had has made me the manager and the owner of my own business, where I can make those changes and learn from the bad management that I've had in the past and things like that. So for me, I feel really fortunate for it. And absolutely, like Alison has said, I will not have it at all. Like, you come into my office and you're coming part of our team, there will be nothing like that. I'm a very honest person and I work on a very transparent basis. So I like to know where I stand with other people. I like for other people to know where they stand with me. And we're all adults. So if you treat people like adults, you create an environment where people can be open and honest and communicate properly, you will not have those kind of atmospheres. So it does come from the top down as well. We, as a business owner, we've all got a responsibility to create the right environment. And if that environment's not there, that's down to us. So yeah, going back to that, on that point, the pressure and the responsibility, I think I wear my heart on my sleeve as well. And I do feel that pressure every single day. And I think going back to what you were saying actually about being ghosted by other women and the men are like, they're ready to jump at it. I am wearing so many hats. I've never worn so many hats as I am right now. And I my attention goes to one thing, they come back to me, but by that point I've moved on to this thing. And at my inbox, I've got people that I haven't gone back to. I'm not ghosting and they're not forgotten about, but trying to stay on top of that is not easy. And I do try to convey that on social media. So people tend to see the good stuff on social media, you know, about things that are going on, thinking, oh my God, they're absolutely smashing it. Where 9 times out of 10, there's so much going on in the background. What's the saying with the duck or the swan above the water, and they're going like literally 100 miles an hour. That is exactly what it is like. I don't know anyone on social media that will say, yeah, it's really easy, it's going really well. No, you've always got problems. And it's just how you deal with it. So yeah, I feel like I'm one of those women that you're talking about, and in relation to
not.
But not ghosting. But actually, you know what it's like for us to put something in the diary. I mean, for me, and I'm just really trying to get on top of that and put processes in place to help with that. But again, being a mum, doing school runs, running a business, it just takes its toll.
Yes, I think there's a difference. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Kim, and I think I should clarify, like, my statement is that it's not about, oh, she's not got back to me because she's taken, like, it's taken ages. It's more about they abandon the idea of so for example, I didn't want to explain it too long, but basically they'll come and say, I really want to be more active on social media, and you're like, yeah, I can help you do that. When I say ghosting, I mean they abandon the whole concept and the whole idea. It's not that they'll get round to it at some point. Like we're like, oh, should we do a podcast? And it's like, well, trying to get me and you, Kim, in the diary is really busy. That is not the point. It's about those women who had hope and had the courage to be like, hey, I think I want to be more visible in the media. You give them the path and you say, yeah, here is how to do it. And then they're like, oh, actually. And that's what I meant by they abandon the whole concept. And this is why we then go around this circle is, okay, why are there more women visible? Well, more men visible than women, because they're the ones that say yes. They're the ones that put the money down. They're the ones that do it and cross that line. And if you don't cross that line, that's it. Like, that's why there's that imbalance. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
But
can I comment quickly on that? Yeah. I think because in most cases we still go to take permission. You know, men make decisions now. At times you need to speak to your partner, you need to look at your schedule, you need to look at the family budget, and a lot of things are going on, just like Kim was saying, in the background that women are battling with, right? So at times you want to say yes, but there are different things. But okay, that's where it comes in when you have a good partner, right? And that supports you as a woman. There is nothing like having the support system. A lot of women, we don't have it, especially if you're a single mom. It's even more challenging. I'm married. I've been married to my husband we're going to be 20 years this year. And at times, even if I don't want to go forward, it's saying, Sheun, let's go do it. And when I'm doing it, just like Kim said, there are different things that may suffer, but he's there to pick up the pieces behind me. Because if I have like 10,000 things I need to do, I need someone to have the overview of the other things while I'm focusing, because the power of focus is important. You want to make something kick off, you've got to focus and get it done and dusted. But if you don't have a support system also, it's challenging. So one of the things that we need to work on as we embrace equity is we need to put together a support system for women in leadership in whatever they do so that they can be more effective. We can't do everything. So get to know what your strength is and employ or get support around your weaknesses, because you can't have strength in everything.
Yeah, that goes for men and women. Like there'll be men that can't do everything and they'll need support in other areas, and women
but
as well.
They tend to take more action than we do.
Yes, exactly. I think that's the sentiment today, is that and I think we're calling it, if a woman is really decisive, like Alison was saying, if a woman's like, can I do this? Can I help you? Can we meet? Can we get together? Let's make this happen. It feels like it's male language because it's about taking action and moving things forward. And I think that's what we're saying, is that, yeah, I think some women have that decisive attitude and they take action, and some don't, right? So the other thing I wanted to come on to is I'm hearing a lot, everyone's feeling the same about support networks, support systems. Obviously, the Money Honey show is one of those support systems that I'm trying to build. It's obviously still in its infancy, still quite new, but I still get daily messages that are truly like heartwarming. Like, I can't believe it. I'll get a text message saying, hey, I've got like 40 followers, like it's not a really big podcast, but more people are watching than following, if you know what I mean, like to press that little follow button. And in fact, if you are, watching the Money Honey, do follow, because it feels like only 40 people have seen this, but actually there's so many more that it has reached. And I get a little text saying, oh, I watched that episode with Alison, like that was really, really good. Or I watched that episode with Beverly on my way to work, and oh my God, it set me up for the day. So this is an atmosphere. This is the environment that I've tried to build, which came off the back of LinkedIn. Someone put a post out saying there's not enough female faces in the media. There's always men doing podcasts. And I'm like, well, let's just do a podcast then. Like, if that's what you want, we just have to do it. Like, so let me just put one on and invite women. That's it. The talk of women in the media is over. Like, we're in the media now. No problem. So hopefully that solves that issue. But I did want to raise, if you hadn't heard about it yet, ladies, Santander have got a women supporting women mentorship program. And I have just been, this is the first you hear of it. I haven't announced it yet, but I've been accepted to be a mentor. So this is I will be posting about that. But yeah, I applied, and it was sent to me by a very lovely empowering women action here that I'm going to share. Hannah Bashford from Model FS, if she's listening. She's been a client. She is building a company that she wants to bring more women into financial services, and she wants to empower women. She sent it to me and said, I think you'd be good at this. And I was like, okay, I'll apply, because I actually used to be a mentor for women at Together Money. Very short-lived career, because obviously I got then made redundant, but I did do it for a little bit. So I applied to Santander's, and they've just confirmed. So ladies listening, ladies in the room, and I think it should be, I need to check, but I think men should apply for this. I think men should apply to mentor women, because if they're in the positions that we're trying to move in those circles, there's no point me trying to mentor a woman. I'm not there. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm not on the board level. I'm somewhere, right? I can help them to a certain degree, but I think we need men as well. And you you ladies here, if you have never heard about it, check it out, because I think you'd be amazing mentors. Yes, Alison.
Okay, well, talk about mentorship. That's absolutely fantastic, Rosalie. Well done. Congratulations. And part of, I think you ladies are aware that the Association of Mortgage Intermediaries set up a task force last year off the back of a diversity and inclusivity report. Well, I was one of the group leads within that task force, and we're just getting together to cement phase 2 and get that released. And part of that is mentors. So there will be men and women on there. It's on the website workinginmortgages.org, and they'll be uploading certain people looking to get the mentors together now and what the phase 2 looks like, because it is so needed within our industry and it needs to be available to all and not just the chosen few.
Exciting days. All right. Okay. All right. So one of the things that I've actually also, okay, like it's been 6 years coming. So one thing also that I want to encourage women to do is to be undeterred, right? Go asking, go knocking. I remember about 6 years ago, I started speaking to the Dartford Borough on the opportunity, on the need to put a platform together to celebrate women on International Women's Day. We just had it, first one done on Monday, because I kept asking, right? So at times we need to keep asking and keep doing. So mentorship is fantastic. Women, men, I've had amazing women mentors in my life that have opened doors for me, because I go, and another thing is they won't come to you. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, oh, mentors are going to find me, no, you got to find someone and add value to them. It's not just about you taking value. When you see someone as a mentor, it could be through books. So I've got my books out there, some people, amazing materials out there, podcasts, you listen to the Honey Bunny, and you've found value in someone. Find a way to add value to them so that it's reciprocal, right? So mentors may not find you, go find someone, and I'm sure someone is out there waiting for you to just ask, because when you ask, you tend to receive.
Oh, that's really nice. Thank you for sharing that, because I think it is really important to let someone know, hey, I admire you and I really love what you're doing. Please, can I have lunch with you? Like, I used to do that all the time. So one of the ladies that when I first wanted to start and launch my business, I was pretty scared to announce it to, I was just about to come out of like a specialist lender, well-known, really successful. And all my ego was like torn to pieces, because I was like, how am I going to let the community know that I've just been made redundant as a BDM and now I want to start this little social media thingy on the side? Like, how am I going to say that? And obviously I believed in myself, but didn't really believe in myself. And one of the first women I spoke to was Michelle Niziol, who's also been on the podcast. And I just said, you know what, like, you're a woman of 7 businesses, like, surely you must know what you're doing. Like, what, and that was the first chat I had. It was just at the time, because it was a pandemic, I couldn't take her out for lunch. So we just had an online call. Then I rang Maeve Ward. Does everyone know Maeve Ward? Right. I rang her because she remembers. So Maeve Ward, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know, she's again, a very experienced person in specialist finance. She used to work at Shawbrook. She then had her own business in bridging. She now works at Central Trust. So she has a lot of experience in specialist lending. And because she saw me start out in financial services 7 years ago, she was one of the first people I met in financial services. So she saw where I came from and my progress. And again, I rang her and I said to her, I was like, I'm really scared to tell these super serious financial services people that I'm looking to start this like social media business. And she talked me into it. So there are women out there, but I had to ask them. No one's sitting at home thinking, I wonder if Rosalia needs my help. Like, no one's thinking that, because we all need help. So definitely reach out to someone who can help you. But please also, if you're listening to this, you can definitely help someone, because there is something that someone else doesn't. There is something you've done that someone else hasn't had the courage to do so yet. So don't ever think you need to be in this like high and mighty senior position in order to be a mentor. Anyone can be a mentor to anybody, because we're all at different stages in our lives. So I just wanted to make that clear, that it doesn't matter what level you're at, you can always be mentoring someone. So bringing this all together then, we have shared a lot of insights into our personal experiences, whether it's the menopause or launching a book or having a work-life balance or supporting women. I also wanted to highlight again some of these resources. And if I miss any, please can everyone just list off the resources again. So we've got this workinginmortgages.org.uk, which is something that Alison has just shared with us today. So I've just been researching that. So that is a must, check this out. It's in association with Amy and Imla. So a fantastic opportunity here. There's obviously the Money Honey podcast. There's also the Santander Women Supporting Women program. I mean, obviously the applications happened a while ago, and now the results are out, but who knows, you know, you could always still reach out and apply. Any other resources, ladies, that we can turn to, people we can turn to, books that you would recommend? Just a couple each or one each if we go around the room. So let's start with Alison. Alison, is there anything I've missed or any resources that you would direct people to? Oh, you're on mute.
Sorry. I don't think there is anything that you've missed. I don't tend to be a book reading kind of girl. I read articles. I like reading articles because I find that I can get through them quicker, and there's lots of salient points that I like to take from them, and then I'll put that all together. So I do a lot of article reading, just online, Googling women's rights. But there's one thing I will say, and this is going a bit off piece, but I'm sure you'll love it. I watched a film last night. I'm not a big film buff, I'm more a music girl. I have the music on as opposed to the TV and things like that. And I watched a film last night called Hidden Treasures. Now, I don't know if anybody's seen it. It's about the black ladies in NASA. If you haven't watched this, as a woman, either a Caucasian woman or a woman of colour or a black woman, watch the film. It is absolutely phenomenal. And I've said it before, look past the outer shell of people. Find out what's going on in the hearts and in the minds, because this is where the magic happens. Just see past that outer shell and get to know people. And this film, it had me in tears, and then it was just such a feel-good film. And I just thought every woman should see this, because there were struggles, and there was a struggle in the day-to-day lives of what they was doing. However, what these women achieved and what they delivered was just phenomenal, and it's based on a true story. And Kevin Costner plays the part of, I think his name was Al Clifford, and he's the guy who ran that department in NASA, and it's an absolute must-watch if you haven't seen it.
Wow, thank you, Alison. That's a great resource. It doesn't have to be like an industry publication. I think I get so much passion and inspiration from books and even music. You know, like Beyonce's "I'm a Grown Woman." I'm like, I'm a grown woman. You know, like I'm like sitting there like doing whatever I want. Anyway, I'm not a singer, so that's not going to happen again on the podcast. So yeah, basically, Hidden Treasures. That's definitely a worth watch. Also, there's a film about like Coco Chanel, how she started, and Frida Kahlo. Love those films. Yes, Alison.
It's not called Hidden Treasures. Did I say that? It's called Hidden Figures.
Oh, Hidden Figures. Yeah, I was going to say, I had heard about Hidden Treasures, but I didn't think it was that one.
Hidden Figures.
Hidden Figures. I like that. Yes. So lots of stuff for women empowerment on Netflix for sure, and Prime. So thank you for that. Kim, what would you share and recommend? How do you get your inspo? And even if it's, you know, a song or a piece of, you can sing if you like, you know. You
just want to hear me sing. So I love, one is music is my therapy. I cannot work in silence. It literally drives me crazy. So music goes absolutely everywhere with me. And I listen to anything from movie soundtracks, R&B, 90s. It depends on my mood, and the team will laugh when they hear this. But yeah, it just plays such a big part of my life. I love music. It's not really anything or a book in particular. I mean, I used to read all the time as a way to switch off. I couldn't tell you the last book I read. But that's something that I'm working really hard on at the minute is gratitude and manifestations. Daily journaling really, really helps me. And I think it's so easy to get bogged down in problems that you think are real problems, when actually taking a step back and just showing gratitude for the little things that we've got every single day around us. It sounds so cheesy, but it really, really works. And it also helps then, and it prompts me to then my goals for the day to like help others and things like that. So yeah, for me, I just think it's just showing gratitude really. And I do really believe in manifestation, seeing yourself where you want to be, where you want to go, and it will happen.
Yes, Kim. I'm so glad you raised that, because if anyone is interested in diving into learning a little bit more about manifestation, gosh, there are a gazillion books out there. It's its own industry out there. But, you know, my favorite are things like The Miracle Morning. That gives you a really good power hour in the morning. Even if it's a power 10 minutes, it doesn't matter. Please don't make like don't try and be perfect in this activity. It's just about doing something rather than nothing. So affirmations, visualizations, so The Secret, The Miracle Morning, but things about, you know, having gratitude and also trying to deal with like these problems or challenges. A book I would recommend, I've read this like 3 times now, because I feel like I can deal with really big problems, but when it comes to like the little things, I'm like, oh, like they just like irritate me. But it's called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and it's all small stuff. So I highly recommend this. It's just like every day you can just pick something out, like for example, number 30, choose your battles wisely. You know, so often we're trying to fight the wrong fight, and actually it's just such a waste of time. And like number 26, set aside quiet time every day. Let others be right most of the time. It's like, wow, I have to read chapter 12 a few times. So yeah, basically it's just these little nuggets that you can just pick up every single day. So that's a book I recommend. Thanks for that, Kim. And Dr. Sheun, you've got a couple of books under your sleeve, haven't you?
Yeah, awesome. For me, I'm your reader. I read a lot. I know quite a lot of women, we don't have the time to read, but I actually do go through a lot of books. And even if I didn't write this book, I recommend it. It's called The Superwoman, Supergirl to Superwoman, The Ultimate Guide to Female Leadership. It's the feminine way to leadership. Just like Rosalia said earlier on, that when we start thinking of leadership, we almost kind of like have to man up in a lot of things. But I don't want to be a man, I'm a woman. So how do we use the femininity? How do we become heart-led leaders? This has covered every single thing, from your mindset to your body set to the mentorship we talk about, to being elegant. How do you portray yourself? I recommend this book. So it's on Amazon, Supergirl to Superwoman, The Ultimate Guide to Female Leadership. And also, secondly, I want to say that it's good to be active in the morning. For me, you don't have to get to the gym, right, every day, but you need to do something that helps you to activate your dopamine in the morning. Kim talked about having gratitude. When I wake up in the morning, you'll see my post. It's a super duper beautiful day. You know what? I've tuned my day to expect beauty. I've tuned my day to be positive. And then I hit the gym. If I can't go to the gym, I have a full working gym in my house, because that means I'm loving my body, I'm loving my energy, and by the time I'm serving my clients, I'm giving them the best of me. So ladies out there, I'll say, if you're listening to this, get your daily operating model. What are you going to do on a daily basis that helps you to activate the person that you want to be? Because I don't want to be you, I want to be me. So what's you? What is exclusively you? What are you doing for yourself on a daily basis? Because we do everything for everybody, but where is your me time? Read, listen to music, but I'll say get active in the morning. It does help.
Just very quickly on that, and I'm not going to show you, but I'm actually wearing my running trousers with my bodysuit unpopped and my jacket on the top, so I will be going for a run after this.
Me too. I'm following you all with my super silk, pink t-shirt, but I'm literally in my leggings, and like at lunchtime I'll be going to my weightlifting class, because Dr. Sheun, you have no idea how life-changing exercise is. And even if it's just to do a plank in the morning, or you do some laps around your garden, or you choose to walk instead of like driving somewhere, like it is just so powerful. Even if it's just cleaning the house for 2 hours, like moving your body, like really getting your like, it's just obviously scientifically proven that, you know, it releases the is it serotonin or dopamine?
Dopamine, the happy hormone.
That's the one. Yes. Alison, yes, please share.
Okay. Just on the back of this, I am absolutely beyond terrible at taking time out for myself. And I see a lot of women, especially you ladies, this is what I do. I'm driven. I've got this time set aside. I don't want women to feel like they're almost, well, I don't do that, because I have caring responsibilities. I've got aging parents, and I find it really super difficult to fit that time in, because they're aging, and I feel extremely privileged that I've still got them, and I feel that yes, I need to make sure that they're okay. So you tend to go by the wayside, and I thought, right, the kids are grown up, it's my time now, and then the parents start to age all of a sudden, and I just sometimes feel like there's not enough hours in the day to do anything. How do I fit this in? What do I do? And of an evening, if I've got a spare half an hour or something, I just think, do you know what? I just want to get in the bath with lots of bubbles and put the music on.
But that's it. That's the beauty of it, Alison. That is you taking care of yourself. It doesn't have to look like an hour in the gym. It doesn't have to be a run. I hate running, so I definitely won't do running. It's whatever you feel like is going to nourish your soul and give you that sense of peace and clarity. Like I said, like the Miracle Morning book, it teaches you to do like 20 minutes of this, 20 minutes of that. And I'm like, yeah, as if I'm going to get like 20 minutes of everything. So it might just be turning it into like there's 6 steps, right? Like visualizations, affirmations, reading, exercise, etc. But you can't do 20 minutes of everything. So maybe you just do 1 minute, a 1 minute plank, 1 minute affirmation, 1 minute visualization, you can do a 1 minute of everything, right? So it's just about helping your brain just come to its like center and just say, right, this 1 minute is my minute to breathe. Maybe you've just arrived somewhere, you're in the car, you switch the car off. How many times have I hurt my back and my neck and shoulders getting out of a car whilst I'm on the phone, whilst I'm holding the bag? And I'm like, why do I do this to myself? Why do I just rush through everything because I'm juggling it? Like, why don't I just sit in the car and just breathe and then take the call? So yeah, Alison, the bubbles and the bath is my fave in the evening too. So I love all these closing remarks. I feel like we can now enter like podcast number 2. I feel like if we stay here, we're not going to talk about so many other things, but you are all busy. I'm busy. We've got to crack on with work. So thank you for everyone who's been tuning in. Your comments are all welcome, by the way. I don't know if people have been messaging comments because I can't read them, but I'll read them all later, all your messages. And if you want to reach out to these ladies, I think I don't need permission for this. I'm sure these ladies would be more than happy to connect and receive your message. And ladies, thank you so much. Like, thank you for sharing this beautiful morning with me. I get to share it with you, and later I get to share it with the women that raised me and my friends. Like, oh, that's emotional. That's beautiful. So anyway, before I start crying, I hope you all had a great day. I hope you all enjoyed today. And thank you.
Oh,
Thank you,
Rosalia. Have a brilliant one. It's great to be here with you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. Take care.
Bye.